What do we have here? Ho, 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 ho. Ba 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 da 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 ba ba da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da da ba ba da ba 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 da ba ba. There it is. Hang on. Let's set this up for you. Don't go anywhere. All right, there it is. The Momentum Quartz 30. You guys know what's going on. You know the story with this watch. All right. This is a kind of a reissue copy of the Chronosports Quartz 30 from 1977. Quartz diver watch that Tom Selleck wore for the first 3 seasons of Magnum PI. One of those was for sale on eBay recently, and the price was getting a little high. It was a little beat up. And if you're looking at those in good shape, I mean, they're going for $1,500 all the way up to multiple thousands of dollars just because it's a watch that Tom Selleck wore. That's the only reason. And I had wanted one of those for a while. Now, I did pick this up, which was my poor man's version. And this is really more of a CWC, British style naval issued watch. Now this is an inexpensive Chinese copy of that. You guys might remember this was an AliExpress purchase. Kume is the company, and it's got great lume on it. The bezel doesn't, I don't think it exactly lines up, or maybe it does. The lume on this is really good, surprisingly. Yeah, it's slightly off on this thing, but I really liked it. But when I got it, the seconds hand was not attached, and so I had to bring it over to the watch shop, and they popped that on for me. And I really like wearing this watch, and honestly I think that this is the watch probably that Selleck should have worn. You know, it would have been neat because he was in Vietnam. His character had been a Navy SEAL in Vietnam. It would have been even cooler if his character had worn this, which would have been the Tourneck Revel, right? Which is a Blancpain 50 fathoms that was kind of repackaged with a different dial. This guy Tourneck, created it because of the Buy America thing that was going on at the time. And this would have been a watch that the Navy SEALs wore. Or a Seiko, would have been fine for Tom Selleck's character. The fact that he was wearing this is interesting because, I mean, Magnum was a waterman, so he was going to buy, one of the best watches you could get at that time to wear in the ocean. He was always in that little sea kayak and swimming and everything else, and this is the watch. Now, of course, he did wear this on a rubber strap, which is probably something like this, a tropic-style strap. This is kind of a copy of the straps they were wearing in the Vietnam era on the show. So I'll probably get a decent. I might even put it on that one for now. It is kind of nice on the bracelet, though. I think maybe I'll just keep it on that. He wore this for the first 3 seasons. I have 1 episode left on this show of the 3rd season, and then I get into the 4th season. In the 4th season, he starts sporting a Rolex GMT, which I am not going to go out and buy one with the Pepsi bezel. I already have a Pepsi bezel watch, which this is my Seiko Samurai. I just ordered a bracelet for this off of LongIslandWatch.com, so I'm excited about that. Anyhow, this is the watch right there. I'm very happy. I paid $222 and change for this. With shipping, it was still less than what you buy it new for on the Momentum site. You can also buy these on Amazon, and just be careful on eBay. I typically go to eBay first, but I'm learning that going to the sites themselves and then even Amazon, oftentimes it is cheaper for a new watch. Let's give you some specs on this right quick. Keep in mind this is a 7 3/4 inch wrist. Might not look like it. The aspect ratio of the camera always throws that off. It's in real good shape. I was on my way to walk over to the watch shop and I checked my mail and this was in the box. So I brought it over. It was small. It came with all the links and Mike went ahead and resized that for me. So you guys know what you're looking at here, right? We've got kind of a paddle hour hand. We have that nice bright orange minute hand. We have that tracking second hand that, looks like it's catching most of the markers. It's hard to see that when people talk about it because the angle of the camera, depending on how you're looking at it, it could look like it's hitting them. It could look like it's missing them. It doesn't really bother me all that much. I mean, if you're staring at your watch all day, watching the second hand just tick away to see if it's hitting the markers, you've got way too much time on your hands there, pal. Anyhow, so the story is that the guy that made the Chrono Sports Quartz 30 is now one of the guys that owns Momentum. And they're making some really nice watches, automatics and quartzes. This is a Swiss quartz movement, a Ronda movement. They opened it up over at the watch shop to eyeball it. They were impressed with it. It's got some heft to it. Let's see if we can get some dimensions on this. So 41.5 millimeter case without the crown. Thickness 11.2. Pretty sure our lug width's going to be about 20 millimeters. Yeah, 20 millimeter lug width. End link to end link. What is going on? It's sticky for some reason. 41.8. That's smaller than I thought. What size is the crown on this thing? Okay, this is not set right. See that? I don't know what's going on with this thing, but I have to constantly reset it as I'm using it. So there's no way that that was correct here. Let's see what we got here. 46.4, and the crown, that was lug to lug, and the crown is about a 6 millimeter crown. So now we know what those are. Bezel action's nice. Really easy. No playback once it's locked, which is nice. Nice and fidgety. It does line up, so that's nice. Solid link bracelet. It's push pins. There's a little side-to-side wiggle, but I like that. I think that that's comfortable. I don't have real hairy arms. I don't have to worry about hair getting caught in the bracelet. It's a milled clasp. That's funny. People want these, but the thing about a milled clasp is it's a lot thicker here, right? I wore this on the way over there. I've been wearing this for the last couple days. This is my Seiko Turtle. This is the watch that got me back into watches. This thing's all beat up. My buddy Chad wore this every day for years, and this has the press clasp. Everybody knocks this, but the thing that you don't realize is how much thinner it is. All right? It should be thinner than, yeah, it is. You can see it with the naked eyeball. All right? A lot thinner than the milled clasps. So the milled clasp is something that everybody wants these days. Everybody talks about it, just like they talk about wanting a sapphire crystal. But a sapphire crystal, it looks good. It's kind of more resistant to scratching, but way more likely to shatter if you drop it on a hard surface versus the Hardlex crystal, right? So I don't, even with some of my other vintage watches, some of them have acrylic, all sorts of weird, the way that it patinas and sometimes it changes color, I think that's cool with the watch. It depends what you're using it for. But a tool watch that you're going to be wearing to work, this is the problem I have with a lot of guys that do watch reviews. They're fashion guys, and they're talking about these details on these watches, and they're like, why can't they put a sapphire crystal? Because it's a tool watch. This watch right here, I know for a fact, and I've even beat it up already, and that crystal's still there. It is scratched up, but it hasn't shattered yet. It hasn't shattered yet. Let's see if we can get this to... There we go. It hasn't shattered yet because it's a Hardlex crystal. It is designed to take the impact of work. I understand that people buy these watches and they're not working in them. They cost a lot of money. But blue-collar guys like me, we want tough watches that are going to hold up to abuse. So let's just get back to this momentum. So I'm very happy. You saw the lume when I walked in. Great lume on it. Great bezel action. It's got this nice little, you know, what is that? A brushed kind of chapter ring in there. The minute markers are on the outside of that dial. All the indices are inside of that. We can see all this clearly. It's got a nice color match day date wheel. Always like when I see that. I don't know, that would be a pet peeve of mine that I would bring up all the time. You know, like on this Seiko here, it's just white. It kind of jumps out at you. You know, there's a new, by the way, I'm going all over the place here, but there is a new, what they're calling a Samurai, that is tinier, thinner. It doesn't have this relief here, and it has the date at the 430. It's just tucked away nicely, and it's a black dial with a black color matched wheel, and they made the numbers level. I really like that watch, and I think I might have to pick one of those up when they go on sale in a couple years, or when people are selling them in a year or so. I'm going to buy one of those because it's a more refined version of this Seiko Samurai, and I just think it's dressier. Anyhow, that's it. I just wanted to say, hey, I got a Momentum Quartz 30, polished back. It's got some information on the back of it, you know. It was kind of funny because it says, I think it says, don't open on the back. And first thing they did when I brought it over there was open up the back. I got to put my peepers on so I can read this. Bear with me, because there's a bunch of stuff in my pockets. Everything but my glasses. I might have left them over there. Okay, never mind. Hang on. Okay, have I said welcome to the Palooka Watch channel yet? This is your typical all over the place sort of thing. But there we are. So Quartz 30 Mark II Sapphire, Momentum watch, HM series, solid 31 6L stainless, made in Canada. Swiss movement. Water resistant to 330 ATM, which is 300 meters. It's nice. You can see that this watch wasn't worn very much. The guy's listing said he bought it in December, and he only wore it 3 or 4 times. And so the clasp, a couple marks, you know, from sitting at the desk, I suppose. Not bad at all. I don't mind it because that would happen with me wearing this for 2 days. And worse, I will be wearing this watch. And I'm just excited about it, you know. I might put it on the rubber just to see what it looks like. But I'm pretty stoked with this. And it's funny, because this watch right here I got on sale. And it was like, I think it was $70 or something like that. And this is supposed to be a 200-meter diver. It's, I like the way this watch fits on me. No, it's 300-meter. Stainless steel. This is for the money, you can't beat this watch. This is a fabulous AliExpress purchase. Cume is the company, but you'll find this. Just look at that logo. There's a Q with an M in it. Just look for that. They have a lot of different dial designs. The only issue with this, hear that? So the bezel's slightly loose on it, but it's got a decent bezel action. I think it's a 60 click. That's what it feels like. I love this watch. I think it's super cool. This is a great beater watch. You can't beat a good beater. I would tell you to go run out and buy one of these and wear this to work and beat the crap out of it, guilt-free. Give it to a friend. You know, this is it has that classic CWC naval watch case, nice tucked in crown. Even the Momentum has something like that. The Momentum is heavier. It does have the metal bracelet on it, but this Momentum, it's got the super fat coin edge, which I like. It's, even though it's polished, if you squeeze it, you can grip it pretty well. I heard some people complaining about that, but you know, look at the muscle right there. I've got muscles in my hands here. I could squeeze this hard enough and pop it right off the watch. That's not going to happen. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I dig on this sort of thing. You see the polishing here, the chamfering here, the it's brushed, circular brushing around the outside on the top of the case. That just helps when you look at it when you come out of the water. Maybe you don't get as much reflection. But again, I just like it because yeah, come on, man. Come on. One of the greatest shows. It still holds up, that show. All the characters, the camaraderie. It's a great show. I might watch an episode tonight. That's it for now. You guys have a great day. Be kind to one another. And these are out there. You can get one. Bye. So before we go, here is the Sea Quartz 30 Momentum. There is your Seiko Turtle. There's your Seiko Samurai. And there's the Kume inexpensive diver, you know, the 300-meter Chinese version. So you can see the loom. I mean, Seiko loom is always great, but that Momentum loom looks pretty good. It's not even completely dark here. And by the way, I didn't put these in the sun. This was just the light that they collected while I was in my kitchen there on that cutting board making that video. So that's it. Indirect sunlight. No charge with a flashlight or anything. And you can see what that looks like. I'm very stoked about this.